Listen closely. There comes a moment in life when your heart feels heavy, your mind feels restless, and you start questioning your worth because someone walked away or chose someone else. In that moment, you don't lose because they left, you lose only if you forget who you are. This isn't about begging, chasing, or proving anything. This is about power, self-respect, and a shift so strong that it changes the way they see you without you saying a single word. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. People don't miss what they can still access. They don't value what keeps explaining itself, and they don't fight for someone who has stopped fighting for themselves. The fastest way to pull someone back is not by pulling at all, it's by letting go of the rope and standing tall in your own space. Silence is not weakness, it is control. When you stop reacting to every message, every mood change, every emotional trigger, you take your power back. Most people think speaking more will fix things, that explaining feelings again and again will finally make someone understand. But over-explaining lowers your value because it shows desperation, and desperation pushes people away. The moment you decide to pause, to step back, and to stop filling every quiet moment with words, you shift the dynamic completely. Silence forces reflection. When you are no longer available on demand, the other person starts replaying conversations in their mind. They begin wondering why you stopped responding the way you used to, why you are no longer chasing clarity or closure. Your absence becomes louder than any argument ever could. Instead of you asking questions, they start questioning themselves. That shift alone can change everything. There is a deep psychological effect behind silence. When someone realizes they can no longer control your emotions, it unsettles them. They were used to your reactions, your explanations, your emotional availability. Now there is nothing to grab onto. No drama, no emotional supply, just calm distance. That calm distance creates curiosity, and curiosity creates attachment. People value what they feel they might lose. Silence also protects your dignity. Every unanswered message, every moment you choose restraint over reaction, strengthens your self-respect. You are no longer begging to be heard or understood. You are choosing peace over chaos, and peace is attractive. It signals confidence. It shows that you know your worth even when things don't go your way. When you stay silent, you also give yourself space to heal. You stop reopening wounds by revisiting the same conversations. You stop chasing closure from someone who may never give it. In that space, your mind clears, your emotions settle, and your strength returns. Silence becomes a boundary, and boundaries change how people treat you. The most powerful part of silence is that it shifts control without confrontation. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to threaten or manipulate. Your calm withdrawal sends a message that says you are no longer available for confusion, disrespect, or uncertainty. And when someone realizes they no longer have access to you the way they once did, that realization hits harder than any speech ever could. Choosing yourself first is not selfish. It is survival. When you constantly put someone else at the center of your life, you slowly disappear from your own story. Your moods depend on their attention, your confidence depends on their approval, and your happiness waits on their decisions. The moment you decide to step out of that cycle and turn inward, everything begins to shift. You stop asking, "Why am I not enough?" and start asking, "What do I need right now?" When you choose yourself, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your focus. Instead of checking your phone, you check your progress. Instead of overthinking their actions, you invest in your own improvement. You begin upgrading your routine, your discipline, and your mindset. Small changes compound into confidence. Waking up earlier, moving your body, learning something new, and setting personal goals rebuild the parts of you that were neglected while you were trying to hold on to someone else. This shift creates an internal strength that doesn't depend on external validation. You stop needing reassurance because your actions begin to reassure you. Your self-talk changes. You no longer seek permission to feel worthy. You walk differently, speak with more certainty, and carry yourself with quiet confidence. That energy is felt, not announced. People sense when someone has stopped begging for approval and started standing in self-respect. Choosing yourself also means setting standards. You stop accepting half-effort, mixed signals, and emotional uncertainty. You become comfortable walking away from what no longer aligns with your values. This is not about punishing anyone, it's about honoring yourself. When you respect your own boundaries, others either rise to meet you or fall away, and both outcomes serve your growth. The most powerful transformation happens when your happiness is no longer on hold. You laugh without waiting for a reason. You enjoy your own company. You rediscover passions that had nothing to do with anyone else. In that state, you become whole again. And when you are whole, you are no longer chasing to be chosen, because you already chose yourself, and that choice rewires the way the world responds to you. Detachment is not about pretending you don't care. It is about releasing the emotional grip that keeps you stuck. When your happiness is tied to someone else's attention, your peace becomes fragile. Every message, every delay, every change in tone controls your emotions. Detachment begins the moment you decide that your inner stability matters more than anyone else's behavior. It is a quiet decision, but it creates a powerful internal shift. When you truly detach, you stop monitoring their actions. You are no longer analyzing who they are with, what they are doing, or how they feel about you. That mental space you reclaim becomes freedom. Your thoughts slow down. Your nervous system relaxes. You are no longer living in reaction mode. This calmness is not forced. It grows naturally as you stop feeding the emotional attachment with constant attention. There is something deeply attractive about emotional independence. When someone realizes they no longer have the power to disturb your peace, it changes how they see you. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer emotionally available on demand. That unpredictability creates interest. People are drawn to what they cannot control or fully understand, especially when it comes with confidence and self-respect. Detachment also removes the pressure from the situation. When you are no longer trying to make something happen, the energy changes. Conversations feel lighter. Your presence feels calmer. You are no longer trying to impress, convince, or secure anything. That lack of neediness allows your natural personality to come forward. You become more present, more grounded, and more authentic, which deepens attraction without effort. As detachment grows, your standards rise. You begin to see clearly what you will and will not tolerate. You stop settling for emotional crumbs because you are no longer hungry for validation. You understand that connection should feel safe, mutual, and respectful. This clarity strengthens your confidence and sharpens your intuition, allowing you to make decisions from strength rather than fear. The most unexpected effect of detachment is how it shifts the power dynamic. When you stop chasing, the chase reverses. When you stop reaching, space is created. That space allows the other person to feel your absence. They begin to notice what is missing, not because you demanded attention, but because your energy has changed. Your detachment creates contrast, and contrast creates awareness. Detachment also protects you from emotional exhaustion. You are no longer pouring energy into uncertainty or inconsistency. You conserve your emotional resources and invest them where they can grow. This conservation builds resilience. You become less reactive and more intentional. Your emotions no longer swing based on external validation, and that stability becomes your strength. As you continue to detach, you start to realize something powerful. your life feels fuller. Your days are no longer centered around waiting or hoping. You engage more deeply with your goals, your interests, and your personal growth. Your world expands beyond one person, and in that expansion, you become more confident and magnetic. The most powerful part of detachment is that it transforms you regardless of the outcome. Whether someone returns or not, you emerge stronger, calmer, and more self-aware. You are no longer trying to hold on to someone out of fear of loss. You are standing firmly in your own worth, and that inner alignment changes the way others respond to you without you having to say or do anything extra. Growth is the loudest response you can ever give because it requires no explanation. When you stop arguing, defending, or trying to prove your value, and instead start improving your life, the message becomes undeniable. People may ignore words, but they can't ignore change. They notice when your energy shifts, when your confidence rises, and when your life starts moving forward without their involvement. Choosing growth means you channel pain into progress. Every moment of disappointment becomes fuel. Instead of replaying what went wrong, you focus on what's next. You work on your body, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your discipline. You set goals that scare you a little and commit to them daily. That consistency builds self-respect, and self-respect transforms the way you carry yourself in the world. Growth also changes your emotional posture. You no longer react impulsively or emotionally to situations that once triggered you. You pause, you think, you respond with maturity or not at all. That emotional control signals strength. It shows that you are no longer operating from hurt, but from clarity. People feel that shift immediately, even if they can't explain it. When you grow, your standards rise naturally. You stop tolerating confusion, disrespect, or inconsistency because you know how much work you've put into becoming better. You protect your peace because you understand its value. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. You are aligned with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. Growth also rewrites the narrative. Instead of being remembered as someone who begged, waited, or broke down, you become someone who evolved. Someone who didn't collapse under pressure but expanded. That kind of transformation creates reflection in others. It forces them to look inward and question their own choices because growth highlights contrast. The beauty of growth is that it benefits you first. Even if no one comes back, you still win. Your life improves. Your confidence deepens. Your future expands. And when someone sees that you didn't just survive the situation, but used it to elevate yourself, it leaves an impact far greater than any emotional reaction ever could. Growth turns loss into leverage. It shifts the focus from what you lost to what you gained in strength, awareness, and self-worth. When you rise quietly and steadily without announcing it or seeking approval, your progress speaks for you in rooms you're not even in.